Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. Enjoy personalized comfort for better sleep night after night. It's the final days of our Black Friday sale. Recharge this season with a bundle of cozy, soothing comfort. Now only $17.99 for our C2 mattress and base, plus free premium delivery. Prices higher in Alaska and Hawaii. Check it out at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com today.
We all know those GLP-1 injections work wonders, but that price tag almost gave me a heart attack when my insurance denied coverage. I was staring at a choice between paying my mortgage or paying for weight loss. Talk about a rock and a hard place. Then I found Elevate Health compounded semaglutide at just $58 with payment plans that don't require a second mortgage. Same medication, same results, but a price that real folks can actually afford. Visit joinelevate.com today. That's JOINELEVATE.com. Your wallet will be as happy as your waistline. This medication is not FDA approved.
Sunday, 2nd of June, and this is Doing the Thing. I'm Ashleigh Stiles, and I'm here with Lisa Gilmore from the Unwineding podcast.
Hello.
And Zack Signore from, Zack Signore from the Le Podcast.
Hey everybody, how you doing? Happy Sunday! It's been a good week.
Sunday. That's great to hear. And we're going to be here talking about everything happening in our worlds this week. Well, I was going to open it up to how are you guys, but Zack, why don't you take the lead on that front?
I'm doing fantastic. No, I was just saying, I was in the UK. I just got back to America, and I got to say, you don't miss the microplastics till they're gone, right? And then, like, all the food, I'm like, feels good, all the poison. But I'm feeling good, being back at home. Like, the Diet Cokes don't hit the same over there. I don't know what it is. I feel like because you guys have laws where you're not allowed to put chemicals in it. But that's the good.
You're missing the high fructose corn syrup there.
Oh, maybe that's what I'm addicted to. Rats.
Oh, well, that's all right. You've been missing the microplastics, but you'd be getting all of the horse meat and our beef.
Maybe that's why I love this so much. Yeah.
And Lisa, how are you doing this week?
I'm good. I wish I was doing as happy as Zack over here. I'm having a little Sunday scary, I'm not going to lie.
I get that.
Yeah. Yep, end of the week comes up. But hopefully we're going to have some great discussion this week. And by the way, if you're listening live on Wizard Radio Station, where we do the thing live every Sunday from 8 p.m. UK times, GMT, or British Summertime, I guess, you can get involved. Make sure you check out our socials and make sure you check out links to get involved in terms of the discussion. Now, in terms of discussion, we're going to be going to the first sort of thing that I wanted to talk about this week, which was the news that Queen, the rock band, classic British rock band, are going to be, well...
Not the Monarch.
No, not the Monarch. Well, not for a while,
not
anyway. No. They are...
Our Queen is actually a rock band. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they are reportedly in talks to sell their entire music catalog, whole thing, rights to all of their songs, all the logos, music videos, merchandise, publishing, business opportunities, whole shebang, over $1 billion. And I guess that's a three-way split between... the three remaining members of Queen, Deacon, who are the other two? Taylor and I'm missing Brian May. That's it. Anyway, What do you think about? Why don't we go to you first, Lisa? Do you reckon that they're going to get $1 billion for that? Because that's a lot of stuff on the table there.
Yeah, I think that their music catalog is so impressive to so many people just because of obviously how just popular they are and how much longevity is in everything that they do. So I would not be surprised if they do end up with a number like that, which is just insane.
A lot of cash, I'll say.
A lot of cash.
I have a lot of thoughts on this. Okay, first off, why are you selling your art, bro? Okay, I feel like in this world, you have enough money. What do you want, a third Jaguar, third Porsche? Come on, I feel like if I were them just for the mere like honor of like keeping what's mine, I wouldn't sell. Like $1 billion is like fake. You know what I mean? Like once you get to that much money, it's just like
Yeah, it doesn't make a difference.
It's just like
Yeah.
credits at this point. You're like,
Yeah.
like, come on. You
But
have like I feel like
also,
No, please.
sorry. Also, I feel like, it provides so much immediate financial security, which, as you just said, they already have that. So it's like, what's the appeal, right? Like, why are they?
Well, I'm thinking maybe they don't have so much financial security if they're trying to like. This is almost a signal to me being like, "What's trouble in paradise?"
You think?
Yeah, like, that's all. Why are you trying to sell the IP? Yeah.
Well, that's the interesting thing. I had a quick, brief Google of the net worth. South China Morning Post says when Freddie Mercury died, he had a net worth of $50 million. John Deacon at the minute, $170 million. He was the bassist. Roger Taylor, the drummer, $200 million. Brian May, former Queen guitarist and also professor, I believe, emeritus of physics, $210 million net worth.
Wow.
So it's not as though they're exactly strapped for cash, at least in terms of the current estimates. It's not.
I don't know. These days, like $50 million, like what is that? Like one Big Mac? You know what I mean? Like that is like
inflation will
that's
get you.
nothing.
Inflation.
That's
will get
true.
you.
That's very true.
Yeah.
So maybe that's
So
why
it's-
they're selling.
Yeah. There's a couple more big.
I mean, I
Macs.
know it's against it, but I guess from the other perspective, I can understand just wanting to stop working. You know what I mean? And
Totally.
just get it away from
Totally.
me. They're probably sick of it, you know?
Yeah, you have to wonder, like, because after so many years of playing same songs, same lineup, some bands do get that burnout where they feel, every night go on stage, oh, it's got to be this one again. I wonder the extent to which that happens with Queen, especially given that they've had to rotate their frontman. They brought in Adam Lambert to do, a couple of those live tours in place of Freddie Mercury. So I wonder, do you reckon that it's the same sort of ennui, I guess you'd say?
I mean, making your passion your job is a real dicey game, I think, because
Totally.
us human beings, us mortals, we like hate anything we're supposed to do. If you it's like when I'm at work and then like I am off the clock, all of a sudden I'm helping people. All of a sudden I'm being like, oh, do you need me to do this? Do you want me to lift this? Do you want me to... When I'm on the clock, I'm draconian. I'm like, get away from me. Like when I'm actually being paid. So it's just a funny thing about humans, I think. So making your art your job like that is a very dicey game.
Yeah, what do you think, Lisa?
I couldn't agree more. I think it's so. I think I have this conversation a lot with my friends where some of them are like, I don't like what I do for a living, but it pays the bills and I can clock out, which is something I'm very jealous of because I feel like I work for myself and so I'm always on, which again, I love. There's pros and cons, right? But I would love to know what it feels like for the clock to hit 5 p.m. and not think about work or content or anything.
I wish.
But then on the other hand, I'm like, but I love it, So it's like, I think it's like, we can't have it all, right? We want it all and we can't always have it all.
Yeah.
I know. That's why I'm like, should I just learn a trade, like how to weld and then like do stand up on the side for fun? Sounds like a happier life.
It'd be great to incorporate it into your bits. Do some, get a type 5 about welding.
Yeah, I'm like a gay comedian welder. Yeah. How many?
I'm obsessed.
I'll get hired. That's niche.
It's
right?
unique. It's unique.
I'm obsessed.
But
Wow.
in terms of the selling itself, just to sort of circle things back a little bit, they're selling it to Sony or Sony like music group, the broader conglomerate, which is how they're able to sort of rustle up the $1 billion price tag, I presume. Do you reckon that, and I don't know how this interacts with Queen as a band and their legacy, some bands would of course be mega averse to any sort of like discussion about selling off the rights to everything, the whole thing. They've already had the biopic made, right? Bohemian Rhapsody already made. They've already done the, movie rights thing. Do you think that it's contra to Queen's whole, how should one put it, their vibe to do this selling? Or would you say that that's kind of expected, perhaps?
I feel like once you get to a certain point, you sell out no matter what, no matter who you are. Literally, they'll repackage rebellion to sell you again. You know what I mean? Like the idea of rebelling is now commodified. So it's like we really live in a crazy trap if you think about it. And so I don't know. I also feel like, what are they going to get? Like if someone does buy this from them, like the cultural movement is kind of gone. Not to devalue like all the the legends in our history, but like it's like Frank Sinatra's done. If you're going to bring it back, like, who's begging for a Frank Sinatra thing, right? In the same case with this, like, it might be a little bit, like, what are they going to do with that IP if you own it?
I felt quite the same way about. Did you all hear when the Beatles song was made? When they did the that one unfinished Beatles song, they cut out all the layers, they repackaged it, they used like an AI version of John Lennon's voice to do the vocals, and they were like, "Oh, this is like the last ever Beatles song." Part of me was thinking, well, I mean, if it helps Ringo and Paul feel a bit better about how things are left, then sure, whatever. But who's really needing new Beatles now? We have so much good Beatles from before when it was good and them doing it. I don't need to hear AI John Lennon. I don't know, Lisa, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I agree. I feel like sometimes we need to appreciate something, and once it's done, sometimes it is like the time for it to be done. I do think, artists deserve to own their work and do as they please with it. And if somebody was offering me $1 billion for my music, I would sell myself and my soul as well. Like,
I want to listen to Visa. Like, please take it. Yeah.
This kind of reminded me of, do you guys remember the Taylor Swift Scooter Braun debacle?
Yeah, vaguely. I remember there was a debacle about Scooter Braun. Would you bring that one up? Sort of explain that for the listener?
Yeah, well, I don't know the details like in and out, but I know that she used to work with him, right? And I think she was under his record label. Correct? Don't quote me on this. I'm not entirely sure, but something of the sort. And she had 6 albums with, I think it was Big Machine Records. And then when she left, that record sold, and with it sold like all the rights to her music. And Scooter Braun, who was her manager for a long time, I think, didn't want to sell it back to her, or there was just some chaos there. And it was a whole ordeal, and she didn't like own the rights to it anymore. And that's why she decided to re-record all of these albums. And that's why like on Spotify or whatever, it says like Taylor's version.
I didn't know.
Yeah, that's why she recorded all of the 6. I'm not sure if she's done recording all. I'm not like a huge Swiftie. I love her, but I'm not like, I don't know like all the details. But yeah, this conversation reminded me of that.
That's interesting. I mean, like, back to like I said, like, I don't know. Once you commodify it, it is a commodity. So someone is allowed to buy it and sell it. You know what I mean? Once you offer it up like that. Yeah. And I'm just saying, like, I also don't want anyone to be mad. I feel like someone's gonna listen to this and they're like, "This guy's stupid. This guy is like dumb, etc." But I don't really need to ever listen to another Queen or Beatles song. Like, I've listened to it so much in my life. I respect them as legends who've defined the industry, but like, I feel like in the Western world, we've sort of rehashed everything 19 times. Like, I don't need to watch the Elvis movie. I get it. He was a guy who was cool. Okay, like, I get like what he did for the movement. Like, I get it. Like, but I even think the same thing with like celebrities. Like, give us a new roster of celebrities. Like, I don't need to see the famous Chris's anymore. Like, give us some new hot guys.
Agree. I totally agree. Yeah.
Well, on that front, why don't we take this in this direction? In terms of like bringing new stuff onto the scene, do you think that big sales like this, with companies like Sony putting so much money towards acquiring legacy rights for like the stuff in the vault? I know that when Prince died, there was a lot of discussion about like all of the unreleased material that he had in a literal vault, tapes of stuff, and trying to get the rights to acquire those, to release those, drip feed out. One of my favorite bands of all time, Led Zeppelin, had like 8 different releases post the death of John Bonham. When they broke up, and they've, done their own things, but there was like Led Zeppelin the Final, Led Zeppelin the Coda, like, just bringing it back and back and back and back. Do you think that that's counterproductive for getting new artists recognized in the music scene, or does it not work like that anymore? Is the label system perhaps, past its peak, and that this is kind of just a company trying to, I don't know, get this for the sake of having it?
I hear what you're saying. I think if the demand is there, and if people are receiving, all of this in a great way, and then yeah, by all means, but I also just think sometimes people just get saturated, as Zack was saying. It's like, we get it, enough is enough. That sounds rude, but you know what I mean.
Enough is enough, huge famous rock band. We got enough.
Like, all right, we're done, Elvis. We're done.
We're done. I am done with Elvis. I mean, he was hot. We can all say it, okay? He was a hot guy with an attitude, and it was awesome for the 1950s. But I mean, it's interesting when you say like a post-mortem sale, like of your art and your work. It just kind of, for me, seems a little like soulless, and in the way where like if you're not alive and like someone else owns like the work that you never released, grant you like it's nice that we get to hear some of the work, but like they didn't release that as the artists themselves. It's reminiscent of like those 3D holograms of dead celebrities, where it's like, ew, this is cool, but like this opens up a can of worms in the way where like you don't own your identity. I remember I was in LA and I was at the Hollywood Forever Cemetery. You know what I mean? And I was there, and like you see, like Marilyn Monroe is buried underground, and all these people are crowding around, like taking pictures. I'm like, let the girl rest, Jesus Christ! Like let drop it, guys. It's like it makes me think that.
She's like, I'm already on every Pinterest board. Like, let me chill.
Let me chill.
Oh, for real though. Do you remember when was it Kim Kardashian was on stage and they brought out the hologram of her dad, who wasn't even like, it was like a moderate celebrity. That's just so bizarre to me. It's like, you know, what would he have thought of that? It doesn't matter what he thinks of that, because he doesn't own the rights to his own likeness. Someone else bought that somehow, and it's like a zombie project, you know. And the question is, are they going to be bringing out new Queen stuff with, I don't know, AI voices or hologram artists ad infinitum now that they own the rights, and then it just sort of persists forever vestigially? I don't know, it's weird to me.
Well, think about how also now how they can change history with what they own, right? So if someone owns the IP of you after you're dead, they can make you say and believe and alter your personal story any way they see fit to sell their own products, to push a certain agenda that they want to as a company. So I just feel like once you start getting into that mess of that kind of stuff, it just becomes an existential nightmare. But humans love creating existential nightmares. We do it all the time.
Yeah, we do. Well, at the risk of sounding pretentious, it's almost literally like selling your soul kind of thing, because you're taking the money now, you're taking the $1 billion now, in the exchange for the fact that, well, when I'm gone, they could make a movie of me with the full rights. My estate has no control over that. They can portray me however they want. They can release my music in any format they want. T-shirts with my face on it, and there's no control there. And it's just sort of like, you're saying, I'm taking the money now, and then it's hands off for eternity. And I guess for some people, that's like a worthy trade. What do you guys think?
I mean, how much importance does this physical form have, right? Like, if everybody wants to remember me in history as well, whatever they want, I'm dead. I died a long time ago.
Care about it, huh?
Yeah, I died a long time ago. So who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Any thoughts about that? Well, ultimately, I think it's a debate basically over whether or not there's going to be any demand for new Queen stuff, whether Sony sort of makes out like bandits with this, or whether we're kind of over the hill. Like I said, the movie came out. I don't know what else you could really do that's Queen. A farewell tour, I guess, but it would be... There was a farewell tour when Freddie Mercury died. So, you know, it's kind of... Are we past the peak?
And the generation who loved Queen, and that was like their One Direction. Not to reduce them to that, but their One Direction, like they're all like, I feel like they're almost past the point of like, I'm going to show up to your concert. I'm going to be a body in the room and buy a ticket as much, you know. Not to say they're like ancient by any means, but it's like my parents. But like, how long of a shelf life does that really have before it's completely innocuous to everybody?
Lisa, any final thoughts on the topic?
So sorry, the last thing you said, Zach, my Wi-Fi's a little all over the place.
Oh, what did you hear last?
Hello?
Hi, can you hear me? Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, we were just wondering about what your final thoughts on the topic were.
I guess we'll see what happens. And like I said, if somebody was going to offer me $1 billion for the music, I might say yes.
Of course.
$1 billion is a lot of money. Well,
it's a ridiculous amount of money that you don't even need. But give it to me.
Yeah, I don't need that money. Give it to us. We could do a lot more with that.
Like, give it to me. Come on.
Well, that's going to do it for us for the moment. We're going to be back after a break with more discussion on doing the thing. But for now, we're going to go to a break and a song. So stay tuned.
And we're back, everybody. It's good to have you back. How was the song, everyone? I hope you loved it. I'm waiting for them to respond back, but they're not. But
Works with an audio medium.
I love talking to people on a radio show as if they can instantly talk back to me. It's just
That's part of the conversation. We could get them in on it.
So we're gonna continue the chat, right? We have another cool topic. Okay. Space engineers have unveiled a new satellite that is going to monitor the sun for outbursts like tantrums that the sun sends to the Earth.
Yeah.
I don't know about you. I am always really afraid of some kind of cosmic disaster coming out of left field at any moment. I remember as a child when I learned about the asteroid hitting the dinosaurs, I was like, oh, so that could just happen at any time. Like that stresses me out. And so the thing with solar flares is that if one does kind of hit like Earth, like in a bullseye, it destroys all of our technology in one moment. So
well, the big one is I don't know if it's pulsars or quasars or something. A big energy burst that wouldn't just destroy our technology; it'd wipe the whole planet out in a second. But it's the sort of thing.
I'd rather that than lose Instagram. Jeez.
Wait.
No,
But you can put it out of your mind because it's so far away, and it's like, well, if it happens, well, I'm not going to notice. The whole planet's going to be obliterated in a second, so it sort of becomes less scary in that sense.
And honestly, if it destroyed all technology, like maybe like that would help humanity a little bit because I'm kind of under this. I'm under this like new kind of idea. We just live in a crazy age where every day something is advancing. You know, like back in the day, you'd see a graph of like advancement, and it would just eventually be vertical. I think we're there where every day they're like, this is a new thing. We can create skin out of oranges. Like, you know what I mean? They're like, we could do anything.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I kind of believe that technology takes something from you, and it makes us weaker. So I think maybe it would be like, is technological advancement necessarily evolutionary advancement? That's what I'm curious about.
Well, I think that's an interesting line of thought. That's very much when War of the Worlds was published in 1897, I want to say. The book, the whole like major crux of that. Spoilers for that book that came out like 200 years ago. But the Martians have no immunity to our disease because they're so technologically advanced. They've wiped out all of their diseases millions of years ago. So they don't even have disease on Mars, which is why they're so vulnerable. And so that's a sort of like element of that message of like, oh, we have too much technology. It makes us weak. I think it really depends on what it is and how it's used. I think what we're seeing, given the like production imperatives at the moment, is a lot of technology that doesn't really do anything. You know, we're in the sort of segue era of technology where it's like we have this new mode of transport. Okay, what is it? Well, it's a little board with little wheels that, you know, what are they called? Aux boards or whatever? Aux boards? The ones that aren't on segways?
So hoverboards?
Yeah, little hoverboards, yeah. Is it faster than walking? Well, not really. Is it more convenient than walking? Well, it's about the same as a skateboard. Oh, so we've already got skateboards. It's like...
Yeah, but that, I feel like the hoverboard, though, is a very, like, small example. Like, I feel like something that I realize is that I was thinking about getting a flip phone, getting rid of my smartphone, and you'd be so surprised how people react. Like, how will you get around? How will you? And I'm like, I guess I'll have to think about it. You know, like, it's like, it once something can do it for you, your brain, like, kind of loses the ability to do itself, like navigation. And, like, I don't know, some part of me views it as, like, this kind of sedentary technology gets more advanced. We see, like, the rise of so many mental disorders. Because I feel like, you know, what is it taking away from us? Like, you know, think about like ultimate pleasure. I see the Oculus, those like VR glasses where you could do anything and like live ultimate pleasure. Sounds like you're opening the door to ultimate suffering, if you ask me. Like, you know, it's everything goes both ways.
That's an interesting thought experiment by a guy called Robert Nozick, The Dream Machine. The idea of like if you could live for like 10 years at a time in this ultimate VR sort of world, where you could have anything you want, any experience you want, would you take it? And the debate, you know, is basically, well, is it real? If it's not real, then is it the same? I definitely agree with your point that some skills are lost in the use of things like smartphones, navigation, map reading, basically. You know, I maybe I'm a bit guilty of this myself. I tend to use my, like, Google Maps whenever I'm driving to work or something. I could memorize the route, which would probably be more convenient and more practical. But I just use the phone and the map every time. And I don't know, maybe that's a deficiency of my driving.
Well, I just think the human mind, like evolutionarily, is like barely adapted to living in cities. Like that's already too much for our hunter-gatherer brains. Like living in a city is like really stressful, and like we've just like it's like a cheat code now of like ultimate communication. And like I feel like the price that we pay for being able to talk to any human being on Earth, at like being able to talk to everyone on Earth, like the price is feeling disconnected from the people in front of us, right? That's why so many people report feeling so isolated. Like people don't get them. And I don't know, it just is very interesting when you think of like what price does that have? Yes, it's awesome that I could text my mom right now, and I don't want to give up that ability. But, it does kind of prevent you from being in the present moment.
Yeah, there's definitely an element of that. I think that's the big thing with like the rise of smartphones and social media as like a technology to itself. I think there's a big part of that technology that's really sort of, is self-serving the word? They say if it's free, you're the product or whatever. The whole idea of social media being like a self-perpetuating thing, it exists to isolate you so that you use it more, so that you feel more isolated, so that you use it more. You get that FOMO, and then all of a sudden you're on it all the time. Is it maybe unique in that sense, or are there any things that have come before that are like that? I don't know.
I mean, I think ever since we invented fire, it's been just like that. The first ever invention. It's like fire can be used to feed us and give us more nutrients, but on the other end of the side of the coin, it could burn down the whole forest. So it's like everything has like the duality. So the second we invent like any level of technology, like electricity, right? Like now we can see at night, but now like we live in a delirium where we are disconnected from the circadian rhythm of nature. So it's like that has like a very negative effect, right? Like, I remember just reading, you read like old Chekhov plays and stuff, and you wonder why they're all awake in the middle of the night, just wandering the house with a candelabra. And I'm like, I think that's natural for humans. They always talk about how our natural rhythm is to almost have two sleeps. And that has completely gone away with the invention of artificial light.
I think there's that, but it's also like the 9 to 5, the whole rhythm of the day is based around when you got to go to work, and most of the work is done in that like period. So it's very regimented, you get up, you work, you go home, you go to sleep, ad infinitum. But that's definitely, I think there's been a lot of ink spilled over that being like a product of the Industrial Revolution, when that sort of mode of like, you now go to work at your factory job rather than people working on farms and stuff. I'm not abreast enough of the history to say that definitively, but I think that I've definitely heard that somewhere that's
speculating is fun.
Yes, speculate. Well, we're talking about people getting mad at us for saying things that were wrong before. I don't want to put my foot in it historically. Especially
I want everyone to know that to Google everything I say, who knows if it's right.
Yeah, double check. Yes, trust but confirm. But I think that's sort of a modernity thing, of alienation is the word I guess you'd say in philosophical terms. Alienation. We are alienated from our natural state.
Well, I was reading this interesting. I was just reading or watching. You know how you say reading when you always mean watching? Does that? See, look what that took from us. Technology. While I was watching this thing, it was just talking about like the modern ennui. You know what I mean? Ennui. Yeah. The modern absurdity, like the issue with modernity is like how we live in a time where all of our problems, we kind of know the solution, right? Like, think about it. We realistically know that we can feed everyone, house everyone, and educate everyone. We have the resources. We throw away half of our food. It's really just like a supplying like situation, It's almost like an order of operations that's the problem. Where in the past there was that didn't exist. They didn't know why things were happening. That's why they're like, this is an act of God. I don't know why this plague is hitting us. Like nowadays we like know the solution, but the ennui is that we don't fix it because it's like about organization, and it's almost revealing the fact that like our hubris gets in the way of us helping each other in a bigger way.
Yeah, I definitely have felt that before when there was a report that came out not too long ago. It was something like a majority of climate scientists have some sort of anxiety or depression because
Yeah.
Trumpeting for decades about what's to be done about climate change, and then nothing happens, and it's like, well, what are we doing here? And having to feel that sort of impotence at being completely unable to, having that extra knowledge, especially as like an individual person, it can often feel, I think, like the knowledge isn't beneficial because you are now aware of all of these major problems that we ostensibly have solutions for, but are just not enacting, and it makes you feel perhaps somewhat powerless.
And I think the runoff effect of like this situation makes people think humans are naturally evil and selfish creatures, where really it's just the small, very, very 0.001% of humans are very selfish creatures, and because of like the big effects of their industries that they control, we all are the victims. So it's like you're sitting around, you're like, we know how to fix this. Humans just must be craven creatures that only care about themselves. And I feel like that is not true. We wouldn't have gotten to this huge society, like this advanced species, like if we didn't naturally help each other as our first instinct. I have a theory that humans are 75% good and 25% sketchy, and that's the most that's the best way for an animal to be. Is 25% they'll be selfish. And it just kind of bothers me sometimes because, there's a lot of people out there who just are anti-humanists. They just think we're naturally separate from nature, but that's not true.
No, it's absolutely not true. Humans are animals like any other animal. We just happen to be wearing shoes. We got an additional level of refinement about us, but it doesn't do us any favors to pretend like I think we are something that is so much different from animals. You look at the way that animals act. It's the same with primates are our sort of closest relative example. There was a really interesting thing that I saw. I did watch a video on it rather than reading the piece. It was two monkeys. They had in opposite cells. One had the treats, one had the tool needed to open the treats, and the one with the tool had to pass it to the other one. But there was no guarantee that they would necessarily be rewarded for that. But they did it anyway, and the other monkey, who had the ability to hold all the treats for himself, never did. They would always share it back. They'd pay back the kindness with kindness in return. So it's just a little, it's experiments on monkeys.
I mean, we're definitely the same way. I think media, like apocalyptic movies, like if everything, like society breaks, everyone's like, humans will just start killing each other and stealing. I'm like, guys, I feel like we all are naturally altruistic as a way of self-preservation, right? Like, that's a positive evolved trait, is to help each other. And I think if you look at many stories of when humans who don't even know each other are trapped in situations, their first instinct is to help each other. Even if you're a naturally selfish person, in a situation, most people are nice. You know what I mean? Or not nice, but are like, let's help each other to both survive.
Exactly. It's oftentimes, even if you were to think selfishly, it's to your benefit to help other people because then they can help you. It's a reciprocal thing, I think it's just more, not glamorous is the wrong word, more dramatic to sort of envisage an end of days where everything just completely falls to pieces. It's like The Purge, The movie, there's just like, if crime's going to be legal for 24 hours and everyone's just going to go nuts. And it's like...
I hate that movie. Like, who thought that would be a good idea?
It's the perfect bar idea for a movie. You sat around a bar, hey, guys, listen, I got this great idea for a movie. It's going to be crime is legal for 24 hours and then everybody's going to be doing crime all the time.
But see, this is the thing. Even if the Purge was real and everything was legal, I really don't think people would just start killing each other. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You still don't want to kill each other. Like,
most people don't.
Maybe you'd start like smoking weed on the street or something. Like, that's like the craziest thing.
Well, the big thing, it would be like tax fraud. It'd be people, I'm going to file my taxes on Purge Day. And I'm going to write zero on all of the columns.
Sorry.
I'm going to take out a whole bunch of insurance policies on Purge Day. I'm going to get a bunch of credit cards and blow right through them on Purge Day. Yeah, it wouldn't be people, going around as bands of roving raiders because people don't have that tendency. Most people don't have that tendency at the very least. In
America we have a purge and it is Halloween. So, you know what I mean? The day of the darkness, when your darkness comes out.
Our Purge in Britain's coming up. It's the Euros. If we get through to the finals, oh boy, things are going to get interesting on the streets of Britain. Yeah.
No. But yeah, I guess I don't like this thing about the satellite going to the sun. Like I guess it's just going to monitor.
Yeah. I mean, even if it's just taking a look at the readings and stuff, it's valuable data to scientists, people who know what to do with that sort of thing. It's like when they send out the probes that go really, really far away, and all they do is look at light. But by looking at how the light travels, you can gauge, for example, the age of the universe, because you can see the distance that the light has traveled and use that to make calculations that I don't understand. But I trust people who understand it to tell me what it says.
Well, I guess like final thoughts on this topic. Do you think that we should still prioritize going to space? Because I'm kind of in the latter or the other camp where I'm like, we should fix Earth totally before we start thinking about going anywhere else.
So I'm two minds of it, because on the one hand, I'm big into the idea that anything that sort of furthers our understanding of the universe is an inherently worthwhile endeavor. It's, one of the only things that there really is to do is to try and understand more about things. On the other hand, the sort of idea like the Elon Musk Mars colony thing, we're going to go to Mars and fix it, it's going to be perfect. No. Why? It's fine here. Make here better. That's completely pointless trying to waste time and resources to colonize Mars when there's absolutely no need to do that. It serves no one any benefit.
Well, sci-fi really does love to make it seem like we can just put like a space station somewhere and then just go. But like our bodies are so finely evolved to this level of gravity, the sun, it would hurt. You would die. Like you got to stay here. Your body's designed for here.
Oh, we lucked out getting this planet the way that it is. It would be a real shame to just sort of assume that it's going to be fine somewhere else, because that's a really bold assumption to make. I mean, on a big enough universe, sure, but humans, we don't like space. It's not good for us.
I mean, I think we need to actually go inward. I mean, it's like that famous thing. We have better maps of Mars than the ocean. I think that's actually a metaphor for the humans, right? We look outward, we do not look inward. So maybe we could understand a lot about the universe if we looked inward instead of outward.
I understand our planet a bit better. We have to be careful with it, though. I just seen the news that another billionaire is going back down to the Titanic.
Let them go!
I know.
Let them go!
If you're going to do it twice, man, you got to be responsible for your own actions at that point, right?
Okay, really quick, now that you've joined us, we're ending the topic on space, but I want to just know, would you get into a submarine and go to the bottom of the ocean with those rich people if you could?
Absolutely not.
Correct answer.
What did you guys say? Yes or no?
Absolutely. I would never even get on a boat. So the idea of going into a submarine is crazy.
Oh, absolutely not.
I hate that you just joined us, but we can maybe have you for the next one. But we're going to go to break right now, guys. So enjoy yourselves and listen to that song, and we'll be right back.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Doing the Thing. I hope you enjoyed that song and that break. We're coming back in with some new discussion, this time with the full cast of panelists. We are talking about, more pop culture sort of oriented. Harry Styles, no relation to me, of course. Every time I am asked, any relation?
Talking about space hurt, I want to talk about a pop star.
Yes. So Harry Styles' fans are being offered a guided walking tour of the village in Cheshire where he grew up. The tours are going to be starting next week. It's all being arranged by a non-profit and I don't really see the link here. They're hoping that it will improve road safety in the area. I guess maybe by having more people walk through the village. British country roads are notoriously dangerous because they're usually what we call national speed limits, so 70 miles an hour, and you can just fly around them under these tiny little one-way tracks. But more on the celebrity side of things, have you ever liked a celebrity enough to want to go to a rural village where they grew up and walk around the village, get a sense of the vibe, I suppose? Floor's open for that one.
Ew. I kind of think that level of celebrity is gross. I mean, there's a few things wrong with that. First off, if I think a guy is hot, the last thing I want to do is see a picture of him as a child, okay? Or imagine what he did in his child, okay? When you're dating a guy and you go to his house and then you, see his family photos when he was in first grade, you're like, ew, put that away. I don't want to see that. Okay,
immediate ick?
I'm just I don't need to see what you were like before you met me, okay? That's how So with like going to see this guy who you have a crush on's like childhood like house, like why? Why do you care?
Yeah. And it's
Yeah,
not just the house itself. Oh, sorry, Lisa. Yeah, go.
no, I was gonna say, I just think that we cross the line sometimes, and I understand, the whole argument of like celebrities and saying like, well, they put themselves in this position, but it's like I don't know. I think there's a line, and I think we often cross it, and I don't know if it just comes with the territory, but I don't know how that makes me feel, you know?
Yeah, when people get a little too obsessive about like these. I mean, it's got to be crazy to be that celebrity too, right? Like, I feel
I
like
know.
the human mind cannot handle that at all. Like, I wonder if you immediately become like kind of a self-obsessed or like spiritual. Like, I wonder what would happen to one when they do. Like, how does Beyonce go to bed at night? Does she go like, "Whoa, this is weird"? Like, this is weird. Like,
I remember John Mulaney, the comedian, had a bit about when he was on SNL and Mick Jagger was working with them, and he would just do things like say Diet Coke, and one would just appear given to him by some PA or something. So I think being that famous, it does change you a little. It changes the way you see things, because what Mulaney said was like, yeah, he was nice for being that famous. That's what that's like. Do you think that Harry Styles is the same, or is it possible to stay grounded when you get that famous? Can you be like a Keanu Reeves sort of figure where you are sort of hailed as like this bastion of normalcy at that level of celebrity?
I only think that's possible if you become famous after your adolescence. I think like when your brain is forming a lot, and like I mean, I can't judge these people. Like maybe they probably are wiser than I am in certain ways, but I just feel, and maybe in every way, everyone here has heard me talk. There's not a drop of wisdom, but I think like when you're a child and your brain is forming, and like to get that kind of that's why there's that classic child star syndrome. I mean, like there's nowhere else to go but down at that point. Or it's what the unlearning that it would take after going through that in your adolescence would be so hard. Like Keanu Reeves, you mentioned, like it kind of really happened when he was a full-grown man, an adult, already lived a life, and then like is able, that is like now an add-on to his life, where it is not his life.
What do you guys think about paparazzi and like how they take it to, like the limits that don't exist basically with them?
Well, it's a little bit more in England. I see. I think
yeah.
like there's just more of a bigger culture of that.
Yeah, tabloid press is like a big thing in the UK. Like the sort of infamous example would be Princess Diana, but more broadly, some of our biggest, well, I mean, I guess you'd call them newspapers. They have sort of pretensions to being newspapers, but really a lot of it is like celebrity gossip. We have celebrity gossip magazines as well, but you'll get things like the Sun, the Daily Mail, the Express, that sort of portray themselves as like, no, we're a serious newspaper, but most of it's like footballer's wife caught out on a town with another man, and it's like a lot of that sort of puff pieces about the personal lives of famous people and semi-famous people that make up like a big chunk of what people traditionally were reading. I don't know how it is nowadays with like the decline of print media in general, but like there was definitely a period, especially in the like late 90s, early 2000s, where that was like a huge part of the media landscape of Britain was paparazzi celebrity news. Was it not the same with you guys, like TMZ and stuff? Is that still a thing in America?
Oh yeah,
For sure. But I'll have this kind of. Sorry, you go.
no, go ahead.
I feel like I don't know, back to what you said before about how like I know like being a celebrity you are offering yourself up, and I guess I like, and I almost do believe that, because like that's the price you pay if you want it, is that like you are now not a character in the cultural story for people to have fun. Like humans, it's not a negative quality, we like talking about other people, you know what I mean? We like to, that's all we do if you think about it, is talk about other people in some way, either kindly or negatively or neutrally. And it's like if that is the job, and I think people don't realize that. They just want the good part of it, and then like when they're thrust into fame, then they're like, "Hey, but wait, I want my privacy." And it's like, "Sorry, you got what you wanted." It's like a classic genie's wish scenario, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think the parasocial relationship conversation is also so interesting, how you just, I find myself like I have these like certain YouTubers that I've been watching for so long that I genuinely feel like I'm part of their life. Obviously I'm not, and I am not like, I have like, you know what I mean? I'm not going to do anything crazy, but I get so invested and I care and I worry, and when they don't post a video, I'm like, oh my God, I hope they're okay.
Oh my
And it's just
God.
sometimes I have to sometimes I'm like, you don't know them, like it's crazy though. It's crazy.
No, I know. There's a few professional athletes who they don't realize they are my boyfriend, but they.
Same.
Yeah.
I'm like, why are you What are you doing in Australia? come home. Yeah.
Well, looks like none of us are going to be going on the walking tour of Harry Styles Village in Cheshire. But on that note, do you guys have anything you're looking forward to doing over the summer? Any big plans? Any big projects?
I'm actually going to London because my niece lives there.
Nice.
So I'm gonna go. I'm really excited because the last time I went to London, which was I went in December, it was so cold. And I know you guys are used to that, but I almost froze. So I'm so excited to go when I'm not going to be absolutely frozen and get to see it like in the summer. I'm so excited about that.
Oh, I'll also be there. Maybe we can hang out and get a cocktail or a proper pint.
I would love that.
Oh, I'm going. I'm going to go to the Edinburgh Fringe Festival in August. I have a show up there, so it's called Wet Hot American Stand-Ups. If you guys want to, go on my Instagram at @quackwacko. You can go there. We have like American flag bikinis and Speedos on, and after we did the photo shoot, I was like, this kind of looks like a GOP ad, but I was like, it's not. We swear. We swear. It's more like hokey. But I'll be there. I'm so excited to be in Scotland. I love it up there.
Yeah, if anybody in the audience is listening and you haven't been to the Edinburgh Fringe, would fully recommend. It is absolutely fantastic. There's going to be a load of amazing acts. There always are. And of course, Zack's going to be there as well. So, go along, check the shows out. For my part, in terms of what's coming up next, it's election season here in the UK. Unexpectedly, the Prime Minister decided to drop the bomb on us that we were going to have one on you guys' Independence Day. So I don't know why he chose that.
You guys are obsessed with us? Okay.
I know, right? Well, I'm sure he is, because he used to live and work in California, so he's got a big Americana thing. I don't know what his deal is. But that's going to be the next few weeks, is me just knuckling down, covering every aspect of our election, and probably your guys' too for a little bit as well.
Ours is going to be we're going to see how yours goes first.
Yeah.
And then we'll figure ours out.
I would not recommend using us as a model for anything. But you guys are going to be over an interesting time in the UK, so hopefully that's...
Maybe I'll stay in Scotland. Maybe I'll stay...
Stay in Scotland. Yeah, where it's nice and reasonable up in Scotland, yeah. Although perhaps the weather... Well, here's hoping it's good, but infamously Scotland is a little bit chillier than the rest of the UK. A little bit rainier. Well, in terms of other projects and things, so Zack, you have your Fringe show. Lisa, do you have anything coming up apart from your trip to the UK?
Project-wise, not really. I finally found a new studio in Miami to record podcasts, so I'm very excited about that. To have more guests, to be able to have more guests on my podcast. So that's definitely something I'm going to be working on.
You're in Miami?
Yes. Well, not right now,
but
that's
rocks.
where I live.
I love Miami. For all the UK people listening, guys, this is an American speaking. Miami is our gemstone, okay? That is our pride and joy. It is a party city. I'll tell you what, I love it there.
I love the vibe difference.
So fun.
You're over there in Miami, living it up in the sun on the beach. I'm up here in the north of England, in the Dales. To be fair, it was a nice day today, but I feel like it's a very tonally different place. You know how movies will often use a filter to sort of represent a change in location. Yeah. I feel like if you come to the north of England, it just automatically puts a grayscale over everything, even if it's a wonderful sunny day.
I imagine it's like Twilight. That blue filter over it, right?
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah. You've gone back in time a couple of decades.
Where in New York, it's literally noir outside. It's like black and white. Everyone's like, ugh.
Oh, but that's so cool though. That's such a vibe.
I like Technicolor.
Yeah. You get a nice full spectrum there. Well, it is Pride Month, so we're going to have a lot of color coming up over the summer. Yeah.
Awesome. You just have to do whatever I say. It's Pride Month.
Hey, you have to do whatever I say as well. Hey, nice. But that is going to do it for us pretty much this week. Before we go to any sort of outro, though, where can we find you guys if we want more of you guys? Let's go to you first, Lisa. Where can the people find you?
Podcast is called Unwinding, like wine, like drinking wine. Get it? So everywhere, TikTok, everywhere you get your podcast, that's where you can find me.
And
Zack, if the people want more Zack, where can they get more Zack?
If you can simply handle any more Zack, okay, there's a bunch out there. Literally go on any platform, La Podcast, L''podcast. I co-host that with my amazing best friend, Gabby Bryan. We market it as a self-help podcast for models. But the thing is we're all models in our heart. And I think that if you're addicted to my vibe and you like to kind of listen in a delirium, I'm your vibe. You can find me on everything. My personal is Quack Wacko, quack like a duck, and wacko. Okay? I don't know why it's that either. But find me on Instagram and listen to the pod.
That's a great handle. And if you want more of me, just stay tuned because I'm going to be live from 9 p.m. talking about more politics stuff. So stay tuned for that. That's going to be it for Doing the Thing this week. Remember to catch new episodes of Doing the Thing live on Wizard Radio Station every Sunday from 8 p.m. UK time and on all podcast platforms from the Monday morning. That's it for us. Everybody, say goodbye to our wonderful audience.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
And we'll see
Love
you next week.